Hello and welcome to Coding. This is a step-by-step instructional video demonstrating how we will handle material throughout the coding process. Please pay attention and ask the instructor to pause the video if you have any questions. To turn on the coating pump, turn on the switches labeled 1 through 4. These turn on heaters that are necessary for the pump to operate at the proper temperatures. Underneath 1 through 4 is a red switch labeled number 5. This activates the thermocouple inside the hose bundle. This gives an accurate reading of the temperature for the hose bundle that goes to the booth. This is shown on the digital readout. Then moving to the right side of the pump, you'll see a valve labeled number 6. This is the main air valve to the entire pump. Turn the lever to the on position. The lever located above the hardener will need to be switched to the on position as well. Make sure it reads 40 psi. On the opposite side is the bases lever. Turn this lever to the on position and ensure that the dial is set to 20 psi. As you come around to the front of the machine, you will see a lever labeled number 9. Turn this valve on. When first starting the pump and while it's running in recycle mode, turn the number 10 dial so it only receives 5 to 10 psi. Step 2. Perform abrasive test. This test is completed on the garnet that is used to blast the pieces. In accordance with the SPC standards, the acceptable result of the test is to be less than 5 ppm. Pick out the small cup with the lid and remove the lid. Fill the cup with blasting materials. Pour the blasting materials from the small cup into the water-filled cup with lid. Shake well and let the garnet settle to the bottom of the cup. This should take about 2 hours. Pick out the glass tube and the metal piece with the small hole. Insert a tip of the glass tube into the small hole in the metal piece. Pull both pieces in the opposite directions to break the top off the tube. Once broken, repeat on opposite side of tube. Attach the rubber stopper to the end of the glass tube on the side opposite of the yellow. Place the yellow end into the water and begin to bring the water up into the tube by squeezing and releasing the stopper. Check for discoloration throughout the tube. If discoloration is past the 5 ppm mark, do not continue with the blasting materials. If discoloration is below the 5 ppm mark, continue on to the next step. When the temperature drops below 50 degrees Fahrenheit, all pieces must be preheated. Preheating reduces the coating's cure time, making the process more efficient and brings the surface temperature within specification. Take the surface temperature of the piece and determine if it needs to be preheated. If the piece does not need to be preheated, then you may skip this step. When pieces are delivered to the coating room, it is important that they do not touch the floor. We must keep the material as clean as we can. Place sheets of cardboard underneath pieces so they won't be damaged or contaminated. Depending on the size of the pieces we receive, there are several different lengths and thicknesses of straps that we use. We hoist pieces up using the basket lift. This method of hoisting provides the most amount of weight support. It is critical to choose the correct strap for each piece. Each strap has an information tag displaying the rated weight it can provide. Be sure all the tag info is clearly legible. Also, be sure to do a sling inspection on every strap. The criteria is provided in the sling inspection log. Step 4. Verify surface preparation. In order to achieve best results, the surface of the piece to be coated after blasting must be at least NACE number 2. NACE number 2 is a near white metal blast clean surface. When viewed without magnification, the surface shall be free of all visible oil, grease, dust, dirt, mill scale, rust, coating, oxides, corrosion products, and any other foreign matter except for staining. Record results in the daily inspection log. If surface is not up to standards of NACE number 2, re-blast fitting. You can determine the NACE number by using the dry abrasive blast cleaning pamphlet. The NACE number of pieces will almost always be NACE number 1. Step 5. Transfer complete identification from OD of fitting to ID. This step is done to allow custom alloy employees to attain traceability throughout the process. To do this, identify serial number and job number from the OD of the fitting. Write the exact number on the inside of the fitting with a thick Sharpie. Be sure to make the writing legible and thick enough to read. If there is no serial number on the fitting, give the ID a serial number in accordance with Custom Alloy Corporation's policy. Step 6. Verification of transferred marking. During this step, an employee from the coding department compares what is on the router with the marking on the piece. From there, they make sure all markings are on the piece correctly. If the customer manufactures the piece, the markings are already on the ID. In this case, the ID needs to be compared to the receiver to make sure they match. Step 7. Perform surface chloride test. First, open the box located in the storage cabinet and remove a testing pouch. Open the pouch and make sure all pieces are included. There should be a glass tube, a black rubber top, tan pouch, a chloride extract, and metal piece. Once you have ensured that you have all the pieces, open the chloride extract and pour all of it into the opening of the tan pouch. Then remove the stickers as seen in the video and bring the tan pouch to the piece. Then press the opening against the metal. Avoid spilling as much as possible. With your free hand, gently and slowly push the bottom of the tan pouch up until the water contacts the piece. Once you have completed this, you may place the tan pouch down in the box. Carefully break the ends off of the glass tube by sticking the tip in the hole in the metal piece and pulling carefully. Apply the rubber stopper to the end of the opposite of the yellow part. Begin to fill the glass tube with water by placing the yellow end into the water and applying pressure to and then releasing the rubber stopper. Once the tube is full, check for discoloration. White and pink discoloration may not reach above 5 ppm. You may then record your results in the daily QC log. Step 8. Verify coating materials. For this step, employees must verify the date of manufacture and lot number. Material has a maximum shelf life of just 2 years. Any material older than 2 years must be properly discarded of. Identify the lot number and date of manufacture of both the base and hardener. Record these in the daily inspection sheet. Step 9. Verify coating storage conditions. Coating storage conditions are the conditions in which the coating materials and pieces are being held. This step is to measure the air temperature and make sure that it is within the acceptable boundaries to get a quality final product. Use the hygrometer and view the TA reading. Verify that the TA is between 40 and 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Step 10. Verify the dew point. This step is to measure the dew point and to ensure that the coating area is a minimum of 5 degrees above the dew point. To get this measurement, view the TD reading. Verify the coating area is at least 5 degrees above the dew point. Record in the daily QC log. If it is an appropriate temperature, move on to the next step. Step 11. Verify surface temperature at coating. The surface temperature at coating is the temperature of the surface to be coated. If the fitting is too hot or cold, the coating will not properly attach itself to the fitting. The following steps are needed. View the TS reading. Verify that the temperature is greater than 50 degrees and 5 degrees above the dew point to a maximum of 212 degrees. Record in the daily inspection log. If the surface temperature is above 212 degrees, allow the fitting to cool to an acceptable temperature. If it is below 50 degrees, preheat and reblast the fitting. If the temperature is within range, continue to the next step. Step 12. Compressed air quality blotter test. Spray the air from the air gun into a white rag to see if there is any moisture or oil in the airline. If there is, then this airline cannot be used to blow off the pieces. After you have checked the compressed air by doing the blotter test, you may use the air gun to blow the piece clean of any dirt, dust, or debris.